Let's start our weekend off with some creativity. I'm Molly Fulp and this is Studio Saturdays, and today's craft we're going to be making paper star telescopes inspired by a work by Amy Sillman.
For today's project, you'll need 1 sheet of black paper, 1 sheet of white paper, and 1 tack, all of which can be found in your art kits. Other materials that you'll need that are not included in your art kits are 1 cardboard roll, like one from a toilet paper or paper towel roll, and a rubber band and some tape. You can also choose to grab a pencil or some markers if you want to add color to your craft later. But before we get started, let's take a closer look at our featured artwork from the collection. This is Amy Sillman's After Metamorphoses, made between 2015 and 2016, and is a single channel video on a 5-minute and 25-second loop that includes color and sound. Amy Sillman is an artist that works in layers, placing abstract shapes, colors, and textures on top of one another and inside of other images to create a story for her viewers. She is a multimedia artist, meaning she works with many different materials and creates many types of art, like drawings, cartoons, collages, iPhone videos, and art films. Sillman's video, After Metamorphoses, draws inspiration from Ovid's Metamorphosis, a very old collection of Roman myths that includes the stories behind some of the constellations we can still see in the night sky today. Metamorphosis is a Latin word that means changing shape, and Sillman's animated video shifts between abstracted images of humans and animals to compare and contrast the two. Our craft focuses on the story of Arcus and his mother Callisto. Callisto was turned into a bear by the goddess Diana out of anger. One day, Arcus was out hunting, but he didn't know the bear he was chasing was actually his mother. To protect them, Jupiter, ruler of all of the gods, turned both Callisto and Arcus into stars and placed them in the night sky. This myth serves as the story of origin, which tells us where something comes from, for the constellations Ursa Major, or Great Bear, and Ursa Minor, or Little Bear. Today, we'll be making star telescopes, so we don't have to wait until it's dark outside to see our constellations. I chose to follow Sillman's artwork and use Ursa Major as my constellation, but you can use whichever one you like. We encourage you to research other constellations and the stories behind them to find your favorite. Every culture has their own constellations and stories, so please feel free to search outside of Roman mythology. While researching, think about your connections to the stories you find, either personal, cultural, or within your family. Here's some questions to think about while you work. What constellation did you choose, and why? And has researching constellations and learning the stories behind them changed the way you see the night sky? Why or why not? Let's start by tracing the circular end of your toilet paper or paper towel roll onto the sheet of black paper. You might want to use a white crayon to help you see where you've drawn. To make a larger telescope, choose a larger tube. Now draw a second circle around it that's about 1/2 inch or 1 inch thick. Now it's time to draw our constellation. I'll be using Ursa Major from the story, but you can choose any you'd like. Start with drawing the star points alone and then connect them to see the whole picture. Take a pair of scissors and cut out your constellation along the outer circle. Then draw 6 additional lines between your circles, 3 on each side, to serve as tabs. Now cut into those lines, but be sure not to cut into the circle with your constellation drawing. Bend your tabs towards the constellation. With an adult's help, take your tack and carefully poke a hole into each star point. Poke through slowly and feel for the tack on the other side to protect your fingers. You can also choose to lay your circle on a piece of foam and press the tack down into it. Place your roll over the circle and line it up so your constellation is centered. Fold your tabs up around the tube and use tape or glue to hold them down and create a seal around the roll's opening. Make sure your ends are well sealed to stop light from getting in through the sides. Next, make a shell for your telescope using one of the sheets of white paper. Measure the height and width of the tube before cutting out the shell. Wrap your shell around your telescope and use glue or tape to close the ends. Our final step is to create an abstract drawing inspired by Amy Sillman's work on your shell to decorate your telescope. You can use crayons, markers, pastels, paint, or pencil line drawings like I did. Get creative with it. Now you can hold up your telescope to the light and enjoy the night sky at any time.
Thank you so much for starting your weekend off with me and a little creativity. Today we made some paper star telescopes inspired by Amy Sillman, and be sure to join us next week to make our foam woodblock prints inspired by Albert Dirk. See you next time!
Thanks again for joining us for Studio Saturdays. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the notification bell to find out when a new video is uploaded. Have a good day!